What's up, guys? Andre Maurice here, back with another recap video. We're in week 7 on the road back to a 405 squat. Today's workout was a 3x3 safety bar squat with 300 pounds. This is my first set that you're seeing currently on the screen. Everything felt good today. Everything felt strong. Only have 2 weeks left of training. This was my rep day. Next week, week 8 is my heavy day, and then after that, it is a explosive day with the pen squats, and that'll be a rep for squatting for this training cycle. Really happy with how everything has come together so far, with just the training overall, with the safety bar. It's felt good to use this again, give my shoulders a break, and just, really feel like work my upper back a lot more with the positioning of the bar. So when I go back to squatting with the bow bar, the regular bar, the next training cycle, I feel like it'll definitely carry over. Let's get this last set. Really wanted that first set for 5, but I said, you know what? The plan was you got to get between 3 to 5, and I got 3 sets of 3, so I'm happy with that. It's 300 pounds, so I'm good with that. And that's it for that. All right, switched over to safety bar paused squats. Left the chains off. Just going to leave the chains off for the rest of the training cycle. Did 220 on my first set. Set you're seeing right now is 240 for a set of 5. As I said before, really liking the positioning with the pause squats. Really like how I'm holding the pause squats. It feels really good. I'm really proud of how these pause squats have been looking in the past. Sometimes I feel like I maybe didn't hold the pause quite long enough, or kind of jumped it. I feel like I'm holding the pause for at least about a second. Kind of jumped that one a little bit. But I feel like most of the reps that I'm doing, I'm holding the pause for at least about 1 second. You know what I mean? Hopefully, maybe in the future, I get a training partner. I can kind of have somebody counter for me, because I kind of do better when I have that instead of kind of relying on me. Because, I feel like when you're doing pause squats or just any kind of squat in general, you're just trying to survive and just get out of the hole. Last set here. Boom. All right. I feel like even my speed with squatting has gotten a lot better. Not gonna lie, since well, not since, but over the years with dealing with the knee problems, and then coming back even from the knee surgeries, I've always been a little bit more hesitant, because I've always kind of dealt with my knees kind of aggravating me. So it kind of made me hesitant with hitting the hole, and kind of hitting the hole a little bit slower than I guess I should, which isn't really a problem. I don't think you should really ever dive bomb your squats, but at the same time, you want to kind of have some type of speed, because a little bit the faster you are, you can kind of overcome some of the sticking points that you might have out of the bottom. And sometimes it just comes down to just being fast out of out of the bottom position, not so much of having to do a different exercise to bring certain areas up. You could just be moving slow. Narrow stance goblet squats. These again, body's getting used to these. I may have to go a little bit wider, you know what I mean, and just kind of have just the mat to have my heels elevated. These weren't too bad, but I did feel like I'm not gonna say discomfort in my knee, but it felt a little bit, a little off. But that might have just been, granted, because of the work that I did earlier in the week with the deadlifts and stuff like that. At the end of the day, squats and deadlifts are kind of working the same muscle, so that could have been what that was. Hamstring curls, 3x12. Getting a good real pump in the hamstrings. That's a good view right here. Really, you can obviously see why my deadlift is a lot bigger than my squat. Because hamstrings are pretty decent. But not in the video are leg extensions, seated calf raises, and body weight calf raises. But yeah, I got these hamstring curls in there, just 3x12. Gotta try to figure out another exercise to do with my hamstrings. I did try doing seated leg curls, but the setup was kind of weird, so might have to start doing these one-legged just to change stuff up. Dead. Freaking dead. Alright. Maybe get one more forced rep. Get a forced rep. I got a couple more forced reps in me. Yeah, there we go. I forgot what I did. Alright, boom. And that's all I got. Yeah, you're freaking dead. Calf raises, got to pick up the calves. You know what I mean? I think most people, we want to train calves, but when it gets towards the end of the leg workout, you kind of don't really have that much energy. But to be honest with you, I actually measured my calves, and I was really kind of pissed off and disappointed with the lack of development. The shape is there. I think I just have to put a lot more effort into it, and I think they can be kind of decent. But, that's on me, and I got to pick it up. These donkey calf raises felt really good. So I'm going to keep these in the program and keep pushing these. But as always, everybody that's following me in this journey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, big squats coming. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we out. Peace.